Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to another episode on the Coin King channel. I hope everyone had a wonderful and blessed weekend and Labor Day. Yeah, Labor Day. So I wasn't feeling well for a couple of days. I am feeling so much better. I realized what it was. I was very dehydrated. So I was getting really lightheaded. So I haven't done any streams here since Friday. Friday, and I even had to cut the Friday stream a little bit early, but taking a look here at Bitcoin, you can see one of the positions that I've been watching for a couple of weeks finally actually hit that down here. Um, and it's holding up okay so far. The next one is going to be down here around this 99, but we'll see what this one gives. I don't really know if we're going to do this up here or not. I did notice one thing in here, though. I did notice that I like this. So I can expect for us to get a better push out of this in the coming days here. So I will be looking for Bitcoin to go um, much higher, actually. Maybe even just coming back up here to back test the ascending trend line here. But it looks like we will see some sort of a push higher here on Bitcoin here in the coming days. So be aware of that. If you are short, I'm not saying you have to abort, but I'm just saying some good things are on the way for Biddy. Take a look here on the 4-hour time frame. This was actually one of the exact levels that I had, but I wasn't watching this one right here. I was really just looking out for this one here, but it did hit one of the exact levels that has been shared on here multiple times, but I never actually called this one out. This one or the one that's sitting very close to the weekly average range anyway. Those are too close for comfort. But that's what we've been bouncing off of here the past few days here, somewhere around this 107, 526. So Bitcoin is looking okay. Did have a little trend line in here. You could adjust yours if you have this trend line drawn out. The way I did it was I didn't want to push it too far beyond this one. So I just left it on the body here. So the line perspective is what I did mine's this part off, but it can be pushed up, and if you push it up, it'll probably be something more like that. I'm just gonna put that back. Just gonna put it back to the way I had it. So yeah, 4 hours looking okay. See if there's anything special in here. You are starting to get the MACD getting ready to cross that zero line, so we'll see what today brings. Typically when we have a holiday, well, I mean, midweek Wednesday might be, I don't know, maybe a little bit too late. We'll see how things go this week. But I do expect for this month to be a good month. I know I've read, and I may have actually done the back test myself, but with September's may not be all that great. I think that September is going to be pretty good. I do. Because we've been going down now since, yeah, I mean, all of August. All of August we've been going down. And if we're going down all of August, then I expect for us to be going up somewhat here in the month of September. Weather's still very warm here in Georgia. Still very warm. We don't really get too much cold weather anyway, but anyway, rambling. That is what I'm doing, rambling. All right, see here. 1 hour time frame. I mean, I do know that, I do know that right now the MACD is above the delta. The delta's kind of sloping in, though. We could see another little pullback in here or whatever. But like I said, in the coming days, I would expect for this to actually pump up a little bit more. I did I had a long position open. I actually just closed that out. I just closed it out, not because, like I'm saying, like I expect for us to get more of a swing up, but it's simply because I entered, I entered around here and I sat in the hole for a little while with the push up, push down, and push up and push down. So I just kind of got tired. So I have closed out my long position on Bitcoin. I'll be looking for another one. We'll see what happens here. maybe I get left behind. Maybe my only alternative is going to be altcoin or something like that. Which, speaking of altcoins, you can see that Bitcoin is doing pretty good. In the moment, we got a sea of red right now, so a lot of red going on at the moment. Some things that were doing really good. The last time we looked at them, like Pith, Crow is still not doing terrible. I'm actually trading Crow. I've been trading Crow. Um, I've been trading Crow. Well, I've been trying to trade Crow anyway for the past couple of days because I haven't really felt too well. So I've been trying to mess with it here and there. Girl, gotta try to make some money, right? But for the most part, I've been out of the market. Just trying to feel better. Just like I said, dehydrated, taking a supplement, not drinking enough water. That's what it boiled down to. It's an overdose of a supplement without enough water. But like I said, I'm starting to feel a little bit better here. Exhausted. I deal with so much crap, man. When I get out and I try to walk, I deal with so much freaking crap. People trying to run me over. Speaking of Crow, as I ramble, I did go ahead and map Crow out. So I've already set up the weekly ranges and all that good stuff here on Crow. Let me just take a look at that over here. And I can see where we got rejected at. This was, yeah, really great weekly range right here. It's an older one, actually. That put it on I got it on the 12-hour there. Put it on a daily chart here. But I can see where we got stopped out at here over on Crow. And what I'm looking at here with Crow, because I'm going to talk about it, is it typically pulls back somewhere between 50 and 70%. So if we're going to, maybe we chop here like this for a minute first, but it just seems like every time it did get a nice little push up and it started to chop a little bit, then you got about a 50 to 70% correction off of it. So if we were to do that right now, so like a 50 to 70% correction, I put my notes in here. Let me see about my notes in here. So hold the press. Yeah, so that would be somewhere down in here, I believe. Let me see, close out my notes, because about 70%, yeah, that would be somewhere down here around 11 cents. So that could, it could decide it wants to do something like that, right? Remove that. So we could be looking all the way back down here. Accumulation has been down here around 7 cents. So every time it drops back into 7 cents, it gets bought up somewhere down in here. Has been nice accumulation zone. And that is around a 7-cent level here. And it's just before you get to your final phase in here. So we'll see. Hopefully it's not doing any more than this right here. That would be nice. But you do have this big inefficiency in here. So 14, somewhere between 14 and 7 is what I'll be looking at for Crow if we start to continue this correction to the downside. If that is the case, that is what I will be looking for. So keep that in mind if you're somebody who's interested in getting into Crow. Just let me put this back on the 12, even though I will not be keeping this chart open. And it has been a struggle. 4-hour does look pretty good though. Let me see here. If I can get that to open up. So 1 hour over here, you can see it just crossed above probably the 20 SMA right in there. Still kind of low, not where you want to see your MACD, but it does have a nice positive posture here on it. It is the RSI looks pretty decent in here right now. In the 4-hour, I'm going to put that to a 4. I like the little squeeze that we're starting to build in here on the 4-hour time frame as well. So at some point, I would expect to see some sort of a bigger push come in here for Crow. So I'm in this thing. I'm not long and strong. I'm long. Right now, it ain't feeling strong, but I'm long. As I actually started building the position based off of all of this falling over we kept doing in here. And yeah, not the brightest idea, but it's the idea nonetheless. the one I got to work with. I could have closed it out a few times, but I'm just sitting through it. Sitting through it. I took partial profit on the pump and then it started to go against me. And so that other half just kind of got left in here to do whatever the market is choosing to do. So at the moment, my gain is not as big as what I could stand to lose, but I'm patiently waiting. I see the promised land. I see the promised land. All right, let's see here. See USDT dominance. I know we were looking at something in here. Had some sort of a measure move in here. We haven't made our way up there to that yet. It is coming down just a little bit in here. So you gotta like that. And this is from the weekly. So this week so far, let me put this on the daily. Put this on our daily. And today's been a good day. Ice Cube this baby. Today's been a good day so far for Bitcoin, because the weekend just had not been. It had not been. So you can see that reflecting here in USDT dominance. Let's just go on through here. So Sol versus Ethereum did get a little bit of a pullback in here after, side swiping this 0.04784. Speaking of which, someone sideswiped me yesterday in my leg with their car. Like, I've dealt with a lot of BS trying to walk and exercise. People want to run me over when I have the right of way. Like, literally trying to run me over. Like, my hand, like I'm the Hulk or somebody trying to stop her car with my hand. Like, ma'am, you just hit my leg. She didn't even apologize. She did not even apologize. She felt privileged. She didn't even apologize. I didn't even look back at her. I just kept walking. I could have sued. I wasn't hurt, though. That's the good thing. I wasn't hurt. Anyway, Solana versus Ethereum. Still looking pretty good. Still green on the week. Just down a little bit here. Let's see. Bitcoin dominance. We never made our way down here to the second level, which would have been down here about 54.62%. So no return just yet. Just still kind of hovering, hanging somewhere around here where the 20 SMA is located at. This is the 1 hour, 4 hour. But nonetheless, you can say USDT dominance is, it's going down a bit. Going down. Let's see, 12 hour. See what we're looking at in here. Bitcoin's going to get that pop, though. I'm telling you, you have been warned. You have been warned. Bitcoin is going to get a pop. It is. Excuse me. You haven't seen that yet? Protein shake this morning with cherries, frozen cherries, protein. Yeah. Yogurt. And water. Surprisingly, it tastes really good with water. I thought I needed to have like some sort of a milk in there, but yeah, I mean, I guess I'm getting milk from the yogurt, which is terrible. Anyway, dominance down, maybe a double bottom or something like that. Let's see, Ethereum still holding up here around this little rangy range. I don't think that this is worth anything anymore. I'm just gonna do away with that. One way or the other, I really don't care about dominance all that much. It's just a talking point. I really don't care about the dominance all that much. Unless I can see the effect it's having on the market. And right now, Ethereum. Let me actually check on that. So Ethereum dominance is still, chopping about. I haven't looked at Ethereum here in the past few days either. I actually flipped everything over here where I have Crow at now. It used to be Ethereum, but it's Crow now. So you can see everything Crow now. Let's see. Ethereum. In fact, I'll leave that alone. Let me do this so I can see what's happening. here with Ethereum. And as you can see, I have paid it no mind. It has been out of sight and out of mind. I haven't dragged anything out. I have cared too little. I won't go that far. Let me just go to... Actually, you know what? Let me pull this out to Thursday. It's Thursday. Just like that. So this isn't actually giving anything anymore. I don't know why that keeps popping up. I'm gonna hide that. That was that 3-month level, but it's not really giving anything anymore. So meaning like we're just whipping it. Doesn't have the same support or resistance effect whatsoever. I don't really need to pull all of these out. I don't see us coming back down to these levels. Maybe 2000. Maybe somewhere down here we could for Ethereum. But at the moment, we're still tagging these highs in here. I'm sure it looks a lot better the more we zoom out. And it does. Nice little, I don't know if this is a wedgie formation or what, but it's kind of decent in here. It's weather decent. I'm just trying to see how I want to do this. If I want to do this. If I do this. I don't like it. I don't like when it's not easy to make a connection. I don't like it. So I'll leave that alone. I can drop this now. I remember when we looked at this so long ago. Those were the days. Drop that. A few more hours on this one right here. We could have an inside formation here off the 12. Off the 12 hour, we could have an inside daily. Let's see. Yeah, we might definitely have an inside range here. Something to watch. Big on that. Big on inside formations. So I'll be watching this right here on Ethereum right now. Yeah, you can see if we do push up. Hopefully, well, I'm not gonna say hopefully. I'm just so not interested in Ethereum. My whole time I'm sitting here talking about Ethereum, I'm thinking I need to look at Crow right now to tell you the truth. I want to look where my money's sitting at anyway. But anyway, if we do push up in here and we manage to hold within this range right here and being bonged around in here for a little while, I would expect for us to get a push up to the upside just based on the structure in here alone. Just the structure looks very corrective throughout this phase in here. But I would like to see us hold within this candle here. If we can hold within this candle and just range in here for a little bit, then I would expect to see a nice little push out here. Maybe it follows Bitcoin when Bitcoin does get that little push out for Biddy. Yeah, I can see this dropping in here. That's going to start to look really nice. It's still under development. So yeah, if we just hold in here for a couple of days, that'd be great. And look for that push up and out for Ethereum. Otherwise, to the downside, somewhere back in here around 4,008, maybe even just coming back in here to these highs in here, but somewhere within our weekly range zone in here is where I'll be looking for Ethereum to come to the downside. Otherwise, we bing bong and then we break to the upside here for Ethereum. Now, what have I not taken a look at? I'm gonna put these back on Crow, but I am gonna take a look at some alts. I just want to let me make sure. Why am I doing that? I have no idea. Why am I doing that? You know what I'm supposed to be doing? I'm supposed to be doing this. I just wanted to make sure everything was where I wanted everything to be. All right, so I'm gonna open this one up and put this on a 4-hour. Never mind this. Let me take this away. And I haven't looked at the rest of the market here in a couple of days. So, I have not looked at the market. I have not looked at it. So XRP, this is one of the levels that we talked about anyway. You know, somewhere around in here, we did overshoot on it right here. This 274, but not really closing. Yeah, barely got a closure below it though. So that's a plus. Here for our XRP levels, weekly levels in here for XRP. I'm just trying to see how far I want to stretch that out. So for some reason XRP does start to lose that, then I would be looking down here at 260 to 238. I don't know when the last time XRP actually met yet. It hasn't, and it has like a big inefficiency going all down through here. So yeah, this is what I'll be looking at to the downside. And to the upside right now, we're just trying to get back above VWAP. So that's what we're looking for. Let me see over here. 4-hour, that's not bad. It's not bad. Everything has a positive structure right now for this 4-hour time frame. It just, how long does it take to actually develop this? But that's not bad. You can see you were putting in some bullish divergence here on the delta. So as prices were coming down in here, the delta was actually rising to get above the zero line, and bam, that's your entry. Whenever you see that, that's your entry, because you may not always see your divergence from your RSI. You got some bear dips in here right now on the RSI for XRP. So there are some bear dips, maybe one more push up, another push down. Maybe one more push down and then a push up. So that could be the case here for XRP, since there is the bear dips present. And then I just be looking to get back around 302, somewhere at the VWAP. This is no bueno. So that's gone. Solanza. Oh no, we didn't even do it. We didn't even do it. Was looking for this to hold. This was on Friday. Didn't hold. Was looking for that to hold. Didn't hold. So we did slip somewhere back down here where this daily range is. And if we did manage to just break below this daily level, of course, 188 would be the level that I would be looking at, and potentially coming back into this trend line right here. So this didn't happen. That didn't happen, so I'm going to take that away. Most certainly did not hold that. Going to take that away. Let's slide this out here. On our push back up. It's so simple. It's just either going to be this. And I tend to just look at the bottom number and the top side number. But if you ever get inside this range right here again, then that's when I'll start to look for something in my indicators. So I would tell you 207 or 227. But like I said, I would start looking at indicators if we do come back into this zone, into the zone overall. For some sort of a shift. Nice little exaggerated bullish divergence in here on the 4-hour time frame for Solana. Look like it may be above the 21 SMA or 20 SMA, whichever one you like to use. It is above that. Just back testing standard deviation 1 here at the Bollinger. So either we see a restrictive move, maybe we push up here into that 207 and reject, or this is going to be a rejection zone, but very shallow or constricted movement here within the Bollinger. And you can see that from here. So you can tell that you're above the 20 or 21, whichever one you choose to use, because you're above the the mean here, which is the 50, which means you're above the 20 or 21. And you wouldn't be into standard deviation 2 until it pushes up into this high. I like this right here. If this continues to point up like this, then maybe we do see a bigger move here out of Solana. It's 4 hour. Let me take a look at the daily, and that looks so much better. And you look at it from the daily, like, yes, you're right. Makes you look more right. So I still don't like this here on the daily time frame. So like we're still squeezing here on the daily, which at some point you would expect for this to break down. Doesn't have to come far, but at some point, um, let me push this up. I would be looking for it to push down. Yeah. So maybe one more little dip here for Solana. It could be more than just that. Yeah. Whenever I see it like that, like I'm just expecting for it to do something like this one right here. Whenever I see that, I'm looking for that. So I'm looking for this to come down. See what the lower time frame wants to give us first. If it pushes us back up into here, and then maybe we see that drop down here on Solana. Sui. Oh, I stopped looking at everything. I've been so tunnel vision. Uh, okay, so we finally did. Sui doesn't usually respect fib levels. At least they generally never work for me. But yeah, I stopped focusing on it. So we finally did lose this level in here. Doesn't even look like we maintained in here. Barely, which I would have just been looking at this low. This isn't, yeah, this isn't too shabby. This isn't too shabby. I'll probably look back at this in a couple of days, maybe 2 more days, maybe this weekend. This might actually hit. I'm not suggesting the weekend trading, but this might have more success later this week. It's just Tuesday. So this might have more success, Sui. I don't even know if I want to keep these levels in here for Sui. Not at this point. Just really hide that one. Hide that one. And I hide that one too. Excuse me. I'll just keep a watch on these right here. That's a nice little bottom and tail candle right there. I do like that. I don't like how petty we're getting in here. So we are getting pretty petty in here. Went from a nice recovery candle in here, another nice large candle, and now we're chopping some resistance, obviously, which have a lot to do with the body size of these candles, but I don't like that. So like I said, a couple of, let me see what the 4 hour. Not really any bullish divergence here on the 4 hour. Bear div in here already. So that's going to be Sui. Maybe if we come back down in here somewhere, maybe if we stomp. Perhaps if we pull back in here and we stop shy of, we don't take this out, and I would consider entering a long position here on Sui. just for whatever the 4 hour will give. But I don't really not really feeling a lot of stuff in the market right now. Because yeah, I would expect one more little push down here on SWOO because of the bear dip, and then it'll probably do a push up higher. Do we have any data today? That is the thing. Um, Today is the 2nd. Okay, so we do have ISM. Yeah, we have ISM, and that's going to be at 10. I will not be around for it, but we do have ISM at 10. It's a stone cold week. And we don't have a lot. We got Joe's Jobs on Wednesday. It seems like unemployment numbers are every week. So, excuse me, potentially another little push down. Everything might start to be looking like that. Alright, so nothing's changed over here. This is basically still doing what we talked about, potentially a round and top formation, which means it comes down. Just slow as we curve over. Just slow. Yeah, I don't like this at all. Yeah, I say we still working on coming down here for BNB. None of this is seeming to matter up in here anymore. Maybe it's just the weekend that threw everything off of the holiday or whatever. It's kind of messing with my levels a little bit. So, I mean, it still remains the same. My outlook here. Maybe if we do start to push in a little bit more, I start looking at 827, and then I start looking at 812 to 800. So nothing has actually changed a lot. So we've just been choppy. But do bear in mind that it is a round and top formation. ADA holding VWAP. Okay, so we have done what we were looking for here on ADA. Which, as we discussed, we would probably be somewhere here. I don't know where we were when we were there. We were there and kept looking at 82 to 78 back here inside this range. So we have done that. Did we actually tap? Look like we tap 78, 18 is what we tapped. So look like we front ran this by 2 pennies. 2 pennies. So if you had a limit order, you would not have gotten triggered, depending on what exchange you're using. And I know this is done off of a line perspective. So as long as we can continue to hold this VWAP, like I said, we could, we looked at VWAP. That was the other one that we looked at. We did look at the levels for VWAP and just stated that if we do break over VWAP, we don't want to break too low. We want to go too far below it. So that was the perfect amount of low here for Cardano. Just wicking here on VWAP and hitting the top side here of the weekly range in here. I probably would more like to see this little bit of liquidity in here get taken, but nonetheless, Hmm. Let's see, daily. So daily, in its current state, has the potential to round trip. And what I mean by that is because I don't really see anything that says, "Hey, we're going." I don't know. By round trip, I'm just saying like we could Ada could, you know, it could push back up and do something like that. Like it has the potential to do that. And then I would look for a rejection off of that. If something like that were to happen, you don't have any like build pressure in here, like how you build pressure in here before you got to push up. So usually like when you have like this, just the space in here, like you round trip. So you can see like this would be a round trip for me because you don't really have a squeeze in here. You just have price that got rejected and just recovered. So you could do something like that. And I'm just kind of trying to put that together here with the MACD and Delta. But if we do start to push down a little bit more, let's just go with that. That's probably going to be the easiest thing for me to say. Nothing has actually changed in here. So got the little bounce off of the 7-8. I would like to see this liquidity get taken, which means that we could potentially, I would be looking down here at the 72 for any sort of continued push to the downside. That's what I'll be looking for, and that would still maintain the structure in here for Cardano. Uh, yeah, I don't like when we're bypassing price action like that, so I'm gonna leave that alone. Just stick with the horizontal levels in here, and yeah. So I'll be looking at 72 to the downside. To the upside, I'll be looking somewhere here around 92. Say something like that. Or if you're lucky, then you take liquidity off of this little this wick up here. Let's see. So I do see that H bar is below VWAP. That was one of the levels that we were saying that we would like to see um, H bar hold, and we have slipped it. So kind of saddened by that. We have actually slipped that because it's only been like the three levels here: standard deviation 1, VWAP here, and then standard deviation 1, or bandwidth multiplier 1 and 1, and then your VWAP. So that has been the three levels here forward. And now that we've slipped this VWAP, it kind of concerns me a little bit. I'd like to see us get back above here. This 20 would have been the next level of interest in here. And that was just simply based on, I mean, this is just a weekly. Like if I turn this off, then that's just this. The meat and potatoes of this W formation. That's what I'm looking at in here, in case you're wondering. Let me just slide this. Oh well, I don't know what I'm trying to do in here right now, but anyway, yeah, this would be the next level for me and actually the last line in the sand for me too. I would actually have to take profit on this one. I have not done. I've done nothing. I've done nothing but hodl on this leverage position in here. So yeah, if we're not managing to hold in here, then I would say we're coming back down in here. That's what I would say. We'd be coming back down in here to multiplier 1 here at the lows. for H bar. It wouldn't be a bad opportunity to actually pick it up spot. So I'm okay with that. I actually like the idea of that a lot better. Just being able to pick it up spot. Put this on the 12 hour. Let's see. But first thing first is going to be getting back above VWAP. And this is what we were looking at, price action to hold on Friday. That didn't happen in the lease. So I'll delete that. That's not needed anymore. And let's see if we're coming all the way back down there from this actual high. Let's just say we're coming all the way back down here. It's about a 50% drop off. It's not terrible. It would definitely be, let me look for, okay. I like it. I like that. I wasn't really paying attention to that. So this is how you round trip. You see this big block? This is how you round trip. Same way it had like this big block in here. That's how you round trip. So yeah. My absolute low is going to be down here around this 14. Especially since we're sitting so close. It looks like if we do break here, then we fall below the 20 SMA. Doesn't mean that it's over, but I'm saying like this could actually just round trip back down. Especially with this big candle in here. So you have this whole inefficiency down through here. So yeah, can round trip it back down to 14 cents. And let me just see. Yeah, so if you lose that point, I was dead on that one. You lose that 20. And I'd probably be, put my bets into 14 cents. For H bar. This is getting very close to this inefficiency here, which based on the back test here, Floki is known to fill in inefficiency, so could be coming back down here. We've been looking at this too here, so they're looking for that because we did not manage to hold in here. Got the first little bounce up in here. Actually didn't hit this target, so anywhere down in here might be a good spot to grab hold. Somewhere between here. Let's see how I react in here. And if not there, then back here into where this inefficiency was here in this weekly, which I mean this one has already been filled, but they tend to hold pretty good as points, like the weekly ones here, and that one there, and that one there. So I would probably be looking for something. If it doesn't bounce in here off this daily, then I would look back here at this one. Then I would expect for it to come back up at least into here. So it might be a pretty good play here for Floki. Yeah, we just need a little bit more time on that. Chainlink. Okay, so we've done some things in here that we were looking at on Chainlink. Let me push it back to a 4 hour so I can see this a little bit better. And Chainlink is another one I think we were saying had like a rounding top formation. I know Chainlink had like 2, maybe 3 drives of bear divs on it. Maybe just 2 drives of bearish divergence. Let me see. It was coming from the weekly though, I believe. Maybe it was the man, no. It was I'm saying weekly, daily time frame for sure. What the bear did. Looks like we're still holding standard deviation 1 here in the Bollinger for link. You could say this is some sort of a little head and shoulder formation in here. Left shoulder here, right shoulder here. Or depending on if you want to say right head, left. Something like that. Got a little bit of an inside formation potentially forming here. I think we were looking at this to hold here for chain link. That didn't work. And then there's this other little daily level in here. It's really, really tiny. I don't have it labeled with the D though, so I'm not sure if that was the case for it or not, because I don't have it labeled. But we are within inside this range of 23 to 21. So continuation to the downside. First, I'll be looking at 21, and then after that, I'll start to look down here towards the golden pocket in this daily level in here for chain link. Otherwise, to the upside, we didn't quite make our way all the way up here to the 28. This was the first zone, though, of interest in terms of the whole explosion for chain link, and then the next one would be up here. So we did fulfill this. Yeah, so that's what I'll be looking for on link. Again, maybe if we push in a little bit more, I'll be looking at 21 or back down here towards where this golden pocket is, and this daily level right here sits around 20 to 19 for chain link. Hyperliquid's been a slow one. I mean, we haven't come back into this 4140 just yet. So nothing has changed here either. Nothing's changing anywhere. That's what I would look for if we continue to push down. At the moment, can't say I see something I like. Not at all. Not at all. There's nothing about this chart I like. Which is why it'll probably do good. Because I don't like anything about it. I'll still be looking here to the downside, like I said, 4140. I'll be looking there. And if we come back up, I'll just be looking at 49. I think we range. I just think we're range bound right now. And that's it. We're just range bound. I know that this was here just simply looking for liquidity to be taken from here. That was it for this yellow line. It wasn't something that we had to hold level in here. XLM has been basically, why do I have two? Oh, okay, I just turned off the lines. Okay. See if we hit our low. So we did hit our low here of our range, of our weekly range in here. If I turn this on, then I can tell you the numbers a lot easier. For some reason, that is off point. I have to fix that. I don't know which one is right and which one is wrong. But anyway, I'm just going to go with the higher. It's just a few pennies or whatever. So we did hit our low down in here at 34 for XLM. If it continues to push down, if it were to continue to push down, then I would be looking at the golden pocket, just because it's psychological. People be looking at the fib level, so I'll be looking here. Then if that didn't hold, then I'll be looking at 29. But so far, that's okay. And just back to the 40, if anything. I'm not going to pull the rest of these. Hold on, what did I do? Oh, no. I'm not going to pull the rest of these through. This is already exhausted. And clearly I can see the bear div in here. So everything looks like it could, for the most part, if the chart was pretty decent, at least on the 4-hour time frame, another little dip down, and then maybe a push up higher than what we're doing currently. Just to put in some bullish divergence. You did put in, looks like, no, you did not. You put in no bullish divergence. So I think that's going to be the biggest thing right now. I like this right here. I like the posture here on the MACD and the Delta. I like both of these. I like to see this cross up happen. That would definitely push prices up higher. I would start to look for this 40 in here for XLM, or maybe just coming back into this this descending trend line right here. But it'd be something along those lines. I really prefer, I would like to see that. I don't know who wouldn't want to see it go higher, right? But yeah, we got to get past this resistance in here first, and then yeah, this would be my main target right here though. But it's not a bad XLM chart, not at all. Just want to see some bullish divergence. That's it. Not seeing any bullish divergence on anything. We're putting in a bear div, which means that we do ultimately, I would expect another little push down to put in the bullish divergence, and then you get to pop up. You start to break market structure a little bit. That is what I would be looking for on most of these. Doge, haven't looked at this one in a minute. Okay, so came back into the VWAP, held VWAP, so that's good. Just trying to get past this resistance in here. Didn't quite make our way down here to our weekly level, which can't be mad at that. That's great. When we were kind of holding in here for a sec. Let me see if I can pull these out. I didn't do it like that, so I can't. Oh yeah, I did. And let's say we said this, it didn't hit this top. I know it didn't. It didn't hit that top. Okay. So this is done now. I'm gonna say goodbye to all of this because yeah, we've moved sideways way too long. And drop this. I think this was the last thing that we were looking at the formation that we were making inside of this little inside range in here. And we don't have anything like that developing over here on the 4-hour. See, daily, we do. So all the dailies are going to look basically the same. This looks a lot like Bitcoin's daily. So we could end up with a range in here. And then the next couple of days, we do see a pop. See price get a nice little push up for some of these. A little relief bounce, relief rally. If we can just maintain that. That would be great. I definitely don't want to start slipping VWAP too much in here, which means, this is going to be for a spot position. Speaking of, um, who was it that was injective? No, we already did that. Yeah, we already did that one. I mean, the long entry, all of that had already happened for injective. Tron. So Tron, I don't know what to make of Tron, to be honest with you. I have a hard time with Tron chart, but this still looks intact. Hold on. Yeah, this still looks intact. So maybe we can come back in and top VWAP here at the golden pocket here for Tron. And if we have to come in lower, then I'll be looking at 31, which is going to be the next weekly level in here for Tron. This we put on the chart based around, just based around the doji in here, just to see if price would come back up into this. It hasn't done that so far, but that's what I would be looking at if it were to push up. I'll be looking for it to come back in here somewhere with these highs. Otherwise, did we play out this measured move here? Just let me check. And drawn it from the highest point, which doesn't look like we did. It looks like Tron would come in a little bit lower if it were to play out the measured move, and that would put it down here at the weekly level here at 31.82. How about that? So that's what I'll be looking for. I think I would like this better. I like to push up towards VWAP than trying to play it bouncing off of VWAP. I'd rather it break it. So if we could do that, I might look at Tron. Again, we have been waiting on this to this FVG here, which is a 2-day fair value gap. Finally tapped down into that, and this VWAP in here for virtuals. This took weeks. This took weeks to just do this little bit, like to just do this, and we're looking for it to hold the midpoint, which is somewhere around 93, 94. If it does push in a little bit more, that's what you would like to see, because otherwise it doesn't have a lot of levels in here. The next level is all the way down here, 44 cents for virtual. So 44 to 20 cents. I mean, no new weekly level as far as I know has come up, and maybe I should check that, right? I should check that. I won't be checking it right now. I will check it though, and I have it marked out for the next show, so we can see what new levels we can watch. If you're into virtuals, you'll have them. Right now, this is it. You got 1, 2, 3. You know, got a zone, got a line, got another zone in here, and then right now, we're trying to work off of this 2-day. This 2-day, you see this 2-day gap right here, 2-day fair value gap. But the inefficiency will bring you would fill in the inefficiency by coming all the way down here to 63. So that's another level to watch before we actually get to this point. Otherwise, it's just been, I'm sorry, I have to make these even, or it will bother me. I don't know why it looks like it is now. No, it's not. Okay. So, oh gosh, that really messed with me. This is really old. At this point, it was July 13th. I haven't put in any new notes in here, but yeah, if we could say something in here too, could work. But yeah, you really want to see, you would really want to see the midpoint in here hold. Let me see what this looks like down here. So this is cute. This is kind of cute, people. This is kind of cute. Now it doesn't mean instant bounce or anything like that, but this is kind of cute. So I know when I draw something, everything's gonna pop back up. So bear with me. So just like in here, how you started to flatten out in here, right in here, you can start to see that over here. So the more we push, the more it pushes in a little bit. So by the time it probably fills in that inefficiency, possibly to right in here, by the time that happens, either that or right in here, that could be the low, and then you could see price get a push out. So the same way it ranged about in here, and you do want to see the bull div too. So right here you can see how we got the bullish divergence between this low in here and this low in here off of the indicator, and then price action made a lower low and the indicator made a higher low as you got this squeeze in here. And then once that happened, you can see the breakout that took place. So we could be setting up for that in here. This is already below the mean in here already. So it's already below that dash blue, that 50. It's already below that. This is a tighter squeeze in here. So maybe we can, like I said, come back in. That means that you would have to fill in the inefficiency altogether, basically. Well, the gap, you would fill in the gap completely if you come down to here. And then you would fill in the inefficiency completely if you come down into here. But I think one of those two would do it. We got some bullish divergence in here right now. We do. So virtual does have some bullish divergence in here right now. As you are putting in a potential squeeze in here. And I bet it shows up here on the Bollinger. Not as clear cut as over here, but nonetheless you have the bullish divergence in here on it. Like if you were building a spot, I would tell you to build a spot bag, not financial advice. Please tell me you read my disclaimer. And it's running across the stream the entire time as well. I would probably build a spot position on it. And you don't like it, cut your losses. But it doesn't look crappy. It doesn't look crappy at all. Not on the daily or the 2-day. It doesn't look crappy there. See, I like this 3-day chart better. It shows it a lot clearer how this squeeze in here happened. And then that breakup took place. Like you're just getting started in here. This comes in a little bit more. This comes down and starts to squeeze more. That is the golden ticket. So I would keep virtual on my radar. It's one that I would watch. Theta. I hate when I do this for theta because it always compresses like this. Always. Same range at the moment. I'm gonna drop this. Dropping that. All right, so we hit that. I'll perfect is that? That low is 745. And how about that 745? We hit that baby perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And I like theta. At some point it would do great. Right now we're not there yet. Back below VWAP, back down here in the 70s. Could be coming down in here next. So you have somewhere between that 71 and then here. You can see that right there. It just hasn't done anything just yet. Daily has a lot going on. 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5 day, 6 weekly neutral zone. Other than what we got this squeeze in here, and then this one in here, and then this one in here, we have nothing. So I mean, yeah, we haven't even changed market structure over here just yet. So yeah, we haven't changed anything just yet. So there's still plenty of time here on theta if you're into theta. Let me do this one. It's coming. So we start to lose this zone in here, which we have managed to hold up very well. Again, I look for 71, start to lose 71, and I would start to look here at 64 cents. That would probably be my low. That would probably be my low. But like I said, we haven't changed structure in here just yet. Let's see if we even had. Yeah, we haven't changed structure yet. Maybe you're somebody who's more conservative. I don't know. I don't want to be conservative. Because I don't want to be buying it, thinking I don't like that at all. I don't want to be buying it, trying to be conservative, and then it drops against me trying to be conservative. So it can only squeeze for so much longer before it runs out of space. Injective. Alright, so we did hit our weekly range low at 1093. If for some reason we might be putting in a range in here as well. So a couple of days of chop, and then because this week may not be a great week. It just may not be a great week. We start to see money roll back in on Tuesdays, and since we had a holiday yesterday, that just throws everybody off an extra day. And by the time Wednesday happens, it's kind of garbage in the market. Hello, I want to be a trader. I'm so sorry I missed you earlier. So nice to see you. And as soon as I looked over and I saw that too, that I missed that message, I was like, let me look and see if I'm on the right screen too, because sometimes I get to talking and I'm not even on the screen showing you the charts, and you entertain me anyway, and I appreciate it. So yeah, we could be putting in a little bit of a inside range here on everything, where we chop a couple of days and then we see some sort of a push up. So for the most part, I would say we have bear doves on a lot of the stuff trying to come up, and then you see I would expect a dip down and then a bounce. So you're in your zone in here. Start to slip the zone. Let me see if this is still making sense in here. So that does. So this golden pocket situation in here with the ascending trend line formation. It's kind of like Bitcoin's little range in here. So maybe we could do this in here. We start to slip that, then I don't know if I would zoom in on this low first or not, but I would just say that potential low would be about 837. That's what I would be looking at. So if we start to if we start to drop, then I would probably be looking at something somewhere down in here. That's what I would be looking at. And if things just start to get really bad, but and that would just be to the downside. This would be the low I'll be looking at to the downside. That would be the low I would be looking at if we were to break below here. I would be looking at that. And to the upside, because sometimes they build these formations that look bearish and then they just absolutely rip. To the upside, we got the 1372 right here, and then the 510 right here, and then the 1698 here. So those are the three levels to the upside that I will watch for. You can also say that's your 3 TPs if it goes up like that. Okay, so we did some things over here that we were looking at for OP, which is cool. I'm claiming it. It's still in this pink box. And now it doesn't make a difference to me. I did this based on price action hitting the lows in here, which I don't even know if this stuff is correct. 64.8, that's 64.10, so that would have been off anyway. But anyway, I was really basing on looking at the lower portion in here. But we did come into this little pink box. And let me just... Why does it look like it's... I don't know, it just seemed like it was locked. Hold on. Seemed like it was. And these are just 4-hour levels in here. So that's what these are. Yeah, 4-hour. Hold on, let me make sure. And it's not candlestick base. Oh, this might be candlestick base. Yeah, this is based on candlesticks. I should have did it in yellow. So I would just still keep these in mind. Each one of these little levels in here, I would still keep them in mind. We started pushing a little bit more. Then this is the first actual daily level in here. It's going to be this one, which is at 62. And then the absolute weekly low, it's going to be at 53 in here for OP. Do we get there? I hope not. I absolutely hope we don't. So let's just stop the madness right in here. 57. That's what we'll end the madness at. I don't like the 4-hour at all. The daily, again, it's one of those that could be setting up some sort of a range in here, and we bing bong for a little while before we actually see a push to the upside here. And then on the weekly, floating around the 20 SMA. Looks like we're resting on it right now or something. So, posture still looks pretty decent in here on the MACD and on the MACD anyway. The delta, you can see the little color shift in here. So you're starting to chop in here on the delta. RSI still holding up pretty decent, but it does have a cloud cover. I mean, I would like to see a birdie fly. That would be nice. Or this bat wake up. I'm still holding on to OP, but yeah. I would consider putting in some more. I guess maybe if we push down, like I said, into like 57, that would be great. Otherwise, to the upside, I'll be looking at 77. I don't think that this matters. So I'm gonna delete that. You know what? This can go too. I don't know why we do that sometimes. We leave stuff on the chart to prove that, we can draw a line. That's basically what we do. We prove we can draw a line. That's it. We can draw a line. I can draw a line and connect dots. I am great. Now, Near is my baby. I'm still watching everything else. I'm still watching Bitcoin, and I can see that we're still sitting in the same spot. Candle is a little red, but we're still sitting in the same spot right now for Bitcoin. No, I haven't had any caffeine in a minute now, and when I say in a minute, a week, that's not a lot. It's not a lot. I'm not a caffeine person, but I want a soda right now. Like I really want to pop open a can of soda, diet soda, but soda. I want to open a soda. I want to drink a soda right now. That just seems so random for me to throw that in there, but I am thirsting for a soda. Like, what is wrong? Something's wrong. All right. So I guess I'm still keeping this in mind for near 219. I wouldn't be mad if it did. It's like we did not quite hit that 227.6. We did 227.9 here. We've been pretty thorough on these levels, so that's great. We do start to slip again. I'd be looking here. So this would be my, let's just say in the fast move would be back down here to this low here, 227.6. Intermediate would be here at the 219, and then the more long-term view would be somewhere around this 207 in here to possibly 189, but we are still within a larger range here for near, which is this in here, as you can see. So I mean, we do have the potential to come back into here. That just is what it is. We're not making any new highs just yet, so we haven't changed market structure in here whatsoever. So no higher high or anything like that. So we can do this. I mean, we can do that. It may not be what anybody wants to hear, but we can do that simply because we haven't made any highs yet. So no higher highs. And let me just pull these out since I'm here. That wasn't coming out. It's another one. Again, another one where we could start to see some sort of a squeeze happen. But like I said, near hasn't made any higher highs just yet. I'm so hopeful for it. I am very hopeful for it. But nothing yet. So patience with near. In case you didn't know what that is to the upside, that's here around VWAP. That's at 252, 6, 251, 252. We did this. We just did this because I remember on Friday we looked at it and it was like, okay, okay, so we front ran it. Was looking for it to come back in and hit this midpoint and not get a closure below here. I really don't like to see price go below it, to be honest. I don't like to see price go beyond the midpoint. So this dash in here, but I definitely don't want to see a closure below it. But I probably wouldn't have. I probably would have closed out or something like that if I was entering on this. I didn't enter on this, by the way. I have Undo on spot. It's just, just trying to see what my interest lies here in it. I'm gonna take this. Should I do away with this? I'll just leave it. But so far, and this would have been for a spot position. Of course, you wouldn't be leverage trading this right unless you did super low leverage, with a 5.68% loss on this. Come on. Yeah, you would not do that. You would spot this, and then with spot you probably end up holding. And where are we looking for price to go? Hopefully beyond this box this time, because we're not doing that. That we know. So far, this has been our range. So I would expect for us to come up and break above that, and come into here. At least this is the golden pocket in here. We never tapped into that. So that's what I'll be looking for here on Undo. Maybe I would have leveraged this one. Like I said, super, super low leverage, but I didn't take anything on this. We'll see. Starting with this first, 99. We can start to change. I don't know if we get above, like this is some nice little liquidity through here. See how we kind of chiseled off in here. I like this. And that is where we would start to see things shift in my mind, would be above here. And then I'll be looking at this next. And then we do that. Yeah. Definitely keep your eyes on your 108 to 118 for sure, because that's basically where we've been. Not really getting past this level in here. And to the downside, if we push in more, then I would start to look down somewhere down here in this zone. I would see if that makes sense. Was trying to avoid coming into that, even though the stop is right here. Move that stop, please. Move it. Move it, move it, move it. Now that price did get, if you did take, did have an interest in this and took this, let's say you took it based on liquidity sweep. Forget the fact that I've been talking about it for a couple of weeks. I'm just throwing that out there. No, just kidding. No, I'm not. Yeah, just kidding. I feel so much better. You can tell it's in my energy right now. Um, but yeah, if you took this like on an SFP, like I would definitely move my stop up. I mean, you should be unlocked in some profit. This is a 4 hour time frame. So if you were on if you took this, I mean, yeah, if you did that, then you should be in some profits, even if it's just um, a small move, just saying you were trying to get up here to take out this liquidity right here. Like you've made some pretty decent gains. I would move that. And then if you start to come down here again below this midpoint, I don't know. I would probably hold out. I'd probably hold out and wait for 82 to get hit. That's probably what I would do. Wait for 82 to get hit because this would be irrelevant at that point, in my humble opinion. APT. Is that the top 411? I'm crushing it. I'm crushing it. It's all a coincidence. That's all it is. It's just a coincidence. You know I'm about to drop this line because we're playing around with it. And we don't play around with people crossing the line, okay? You cross the line, we got problems. So delete it. Delete that problem. I've been watching a lot of self-help because I need some self-help, I suppose. I don't know. I'm not feeling beautiful. Now I'm about to make y'all my therapist. You're about to be my therapy session. But it's natural. Anyway, APT here. Yeah, I mean, if anything on a if we get a pushback down, like we're not holding, yeah, that's a little nasty wick up there, a little nice wick below. We push back in, and I'll be looking at the lower portion here around 406. We do still have this range that we're in, just because APT we're looking forward to get the neckline break, and it just hasn't happened yet. So let me see here on the weekly. Yeah, I mean, we're still within our pattern formation in here and all that good stuff. So that might have been a nice place to catch this. Like, yo, really? Right here? I mean, I have APT on Coinbase. So you know it's a spot position. And that might have been a great place to actually add something in on my position. I mean, because what's the alternative? I mean, we're not making higher highs. We know that much is true. The same thing goes with near. So we're not making the higher highs in here, but that might have been a great place to catch it. And let's just say that this was the low. Like I would like for this to have been the low. That would be great if that was the low. And then from here we bounce. Otherwise, I'd be looking back down here at the low of the range. Like that's the alternative for me. So 375. That would be the alternative for me. So yeah, it didn't do too good the first time it tried to do a little push up. I mean, yeah, because this did not do much in here. So I hate that. It's not going above the midpoint of the RSI right now. I guess when we start to see that, then we can expect something different from Aptos. Like you can be conservative and you can just wait until you see some strength come in. And you start to see that strength come in. If we do, managed to get above the 50 in here. We're so flatline across here. Like our delta is just hanging out at the 0 line, just hanging out on the corner. Not selling anything, just hanging out on the corner. Or maybe it is, maybe they are, maybe some selling is happening in here. Some people buying. And then, still got the measure move that comes up here to about 891. So hopefully that happens. If that happens, I'm straight up out. I'm out. I would take my little profits and I will run with it. But hopefully that was the low. Let me see 2 week. I just want to see if anything's looking different. Okay, so I'm gonna get inspired by the 2 week chart. I am about to get inspired by the 2 week chart. So this is one that I will start to load up on. Not yet. Not yet. I mean, I bought one time and that's it. I didn't buy a lot. But I'm getting inspired by the 2 week. Which means it could be a little bit more time here for something good to come about. And yeah, we have to start looking at things that are gonna make us some money. But we want to make sure that we're looking at it the right way, because sometimes stuff is the gift that keeps on giving. Where you buy the dip of the dip of the dip of the dip of the dip, 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 dip. Yeah. We don't want that. So I do like that 2 week chart, though. I will say that much. So I probably would if it touched grass green. Touch grass green. touch grass again. So come back down here. Then maybe. But for now, I'm good with what I already own. I do like that bounce off of that, though. I do like that little bounce. Yeah, you can tell that was a rejection waiting to happen over here. All right, who else is it? Costs, no surprise here. Like we're still in our zone here on costs. Golden pocket, all of that good stuff in here. Just our level in here, our range in here. And if we push up, then we're looking straight up here. There is nothing in between for cost for me. Once we break up, I'm just looking back in here. That's it. You do have a little bit of a cloud cover in here. I mean, you can also just base all of this off of this trend line in here as well. This descending trend line in here, which I think is drawn from a line perspective. Somewhat it is. Not 100. Actually, I'm gonna push this up. Sorry. I got to. I don't like when we start cutting through stuff. So I'm gonna do it like that. That's better. And especially when we see too many attempts here, like too many attempts to push price down in here. when you start seeing multiple lines popping out like this and prices barely going anywhere, that's a strong indication for me that we could see a break up and out. So I kind of like costs. I mean, it generally works like that. Does it work all the time? It doesn't. But if it works more than not, I'm going with it. So just say we keep holding around in here. I'm looking for a breakout. I'm gonna come back up here to 10 cents for costs. Say still hanging out in that range. 26 is going to be the next level to look at in here, and then the golden pocket, and then we got another one right here. And I don't know. Let me see. I must have did this from the weekly time frame. You can tell when you did something. Yeah, I did it from the weekly time frame, which is why it looks like that on the lower time frames. This just looks like one big massive explosion waiting to happen. And it'll be the talk of the town if it does. But that's what it looks like. It looks like one big massive explosion waiting to happen. And so far we've been holding this neckline in here pretty good. I'm just going to zoom back out a bit here. So we've been holding this neckline right across throughout this part in here. We've been holding that pretty good. Does this match up with that? Just slightly off. So I'm just going to drop this in a little bit. So I'm going to push down the target a little bit in here. Hold on. Yeah, just pushing down the target a little bit on this. That makes more sense anyway. Look at these. Look at this over here. And trying to protect this little neckline in here too on the weekly time frame from whatever this might be in here. But I mean, we're holding up pretty good in here so far. So until we start to slip that, if we do start to slip that, then I would just look in here. You have the golden pocket there. I'd probably go off at 23.21 though. 23 to 21. And then let me just zoom out on this with this. Yeah, I like that better. So 26, and then somewhere down here around 22. If you're doing more than this in here, then I probably wouldn't be interested because you could come lower. Because this would suffice this inefficiency in here. Actually, just coming into to here would suffice this inefficiency in here. So anything more than that, then you're not, overstayed your welcome a little bit. I hate to look at Tia. Arrow. Okay, so Aerodrome. The thing that we were saying on Aerodrome is we come back in to this block here, which we surpassed that. But, I'm going to make it about me. We, just playing. We're looking for price to either come back in and hold this ascending trend line in here from this channel that we got to break up out of, and or just this block in here, which is just based on candlesticks. So did do a sweep of liquidity in here, reclaim. So it was just a sweep. That's it. It has nothing to do with this little yellow box whatsoever. It was a liquidity sweep, and that's it. So if it can manage to get a push up, I probably would look. And let me just go ahead and change this color so there's no ifs, ands, or buts about what this is. I'll probably just look back into here. But if we're doing that, and we're closing in here, then you're changing some market structure in here a little bit. At least you got a change of character per se with a closure above here. So if you're hitting in here, and you're closing above here, then you are getting a chonch, and then you can look for a higher low. So that would probably be maybe coming back into this line right here at 112, maybe doing something like that, and then onwards and upwards back in here to around the 134 to 143 here for Aerodrome. What we're looking like. Nothing really spectacular here along these higher time frames that I can say is enticing. I don't see anything in here. And we got the fast claim in here, and it looks like we may have gotten. Let me see. We did. No, we didn't get any bullish divergence on that. So it's just once we start to lose this low in here, then we could come in and fill in this inefficiency in here a little bit more. So that's just what I'm looking at. Yeah, we start to lose that, then 93 to the downside and to the upside. We have the 93 in here, and you have. I don't know why this is like this. This must have been like a daily. I don't know. It was something different, but I'm just gonna change this to yellow. So want to see that hold. Can say maybe price comes back into. I don't know. I'm gonna look at 93. I wanted to look at this right here. This this high in here. We've done this high before with this candle. So I'm gonna say 93, and then 81 to 78 right in here. Like we could do that on Aerodrome to the downside and then to the upside. I've already discussed that for Aero and AVAX. Still kind of waiting. I mean, we're still in our range here. This morning is really, really slow. Let me just say that. We are so slow this morning. I'm really exhausted with these charts. And by slow, I mean like Bitcoin is absolutely just sitting in the same spot. Just sitting in the same spot. Let me see what a 2-week look like on this. So just a little bit more accumulation happening in here on AVAX before we actually see a breakout here on AVAX. Slight bit more accumulation. So patience will be our friend with AVAX unless you've already started accumulating. And the best place to get it is right now. It's down here. Down here, and you can do let me see, really care to. I just wanted to see where the midpoint was at. Okay, so somewhere around where this loan would be at if we were to ever get it. But right now, we're still continuing to hold the VWAP here on AVAX. Still waiting on that move to come in. Yeah. Maybe we're just going to get that. I don't know. It's going to happen. I'm not ready for it to happen just yet, but it's going to happen here for AVAX. It will be the play. All right. Let's see what we can get into. This is so hard to tell, I know. And this can really be done differently. If you're somebody looking for like the momentum shift or something like that, just this little range in here. So we've been holding up in here so far. I might make this so that, yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. I have to do it like that because if I want to look at it on a 15-minute time frame, it's just not gonna. Hold on. What are you doing, Shimmy? I just told you my name. Now we're best friends. All right. If I want to play around, I just had to get rid of the boxes and just use that for the higher time frames. What we got going on in here? All right, so nothing. Bitcoin again. Bitcoin's still sitting in the same spot over here. Just hanging on to this top side in here. Just chopping about, trying to hang on, Biddy. You know, I'm just sitting here thinking, I'm thirsty. Oh boy. I usually trade with isolated, but cross isn't terrible. It wouldn't be my first choice, but I just remember how different trading was for me when I did cross over isolated. Isolated will make you a lot more disciplined, I think. It did for me because you're gonna lose that money for sure. Um, just that amount, but I don't know. Cross seems to give you a little bit more leverage in some sorts. Anyways, it's ridiculous. I don't know why it came up, but it was just in my head just then. I thought about it. So Bitcoin just still hanging in right here. Let's see. Is there something I needed to? Let me look at this. And the markets have just been garbage for me. Just garbage. Just garbage. Let's see, anything special in here happened? Nothing. So Sunday we had a little gap. I didn't even look at the gap. Sunday we had a little gap. We've already filled that in. You know, push up, push down. We still have our gaps that we haven't filled in just yet. So there is still hope. There's still hope. That those upside gaps get filled. I don't know why this keeps wanting to show up on this chart. I hate how they do the little blue crap on CME. Those little borders that they apply in here. But no new gaps to fill. Nothing like that. The one from Sunday, that's been taken care of. We got nothing. People, we got nothing. Nothing but time. Time on our hands. I think this was from the other day. I'm going to drop this. Take that away. And we just wait. Now, like I said, I will not be here for the news today. And since that news isn't happening until 10 o'clock instead of 8:30, I will be ending the stream at 8 o'clock. Make room for all these other great people that will be coming on the stream. See if there's something else that I haven't looked at that we may need to look at right now. It's a 1 hour chart. Hmm. Since I closed out that long position on Bitcoin, I could, you know, look for a little something in here to take. We got some time on this though, before I would even consider some sort of a position in here on Biddy. I can tell you right now, with Bitcoin, right now on this finance chart. So, what is this line? We can get rid of. Actually, I'm gonna move that line. We'll move that around. Let me see. What this is. Yeah, we're about to get another little drop on Biddy. Yeah, we're gonna get another little drop on Biddy. I was just looking at that 1 hour time frame from my other screen. This little choppy situation that we have going on in here right now. I'm gonna start moving this line right here. So I'm gonna show you. Do it like that. Yeah. So just textbook really. Once gone, we're going down. We could be looking at somewhere back in here. Next. Yeah. Be looking back in here. Right, 109. And if that's not the bread and butter, then speaking of bread and butter, I can't wait for the weather to change a little bit. I've seen some nice little I don't know if I want to call them cowboy or cowgirl boots, but I'm say cowgirl because I'm a woman, um, a lady. I've seen some nice boots that I like, and I want to buy them. I might actually get them this weekend and just see how the weather does first. But they're really cute, and I need to go try them on too. See how they work with my little calves. And I have two really cute cowboy hats. And I'm calling them cowboy hats. But I have two really cute cowboy hats that I haven't worn yet. I don't think I really had the hairstyle for them, but I can't wait to rock those two. I'm gonna get out more. I'm gonna stop being a vampire. I'm gonna get out more. Anyway, back to the chart. Let's see. I was leaning towards it is slightly below this little pivot right here. So I'm gonna do it like this. I don't know if I want to put it on this pivot though. This might change a little bit. So let me see how that comes up when I do it. Yeah. So it's somewhere in here around this little pivot in here. So it's like that. It is definitely like that. So it's not this one. If that changes, I will push it up for that one. But right now it is more something like that. And you can see whatever range we had going on in here. And 15 minutes is not my favorite, but you can already see that we broke that. So you can see right here. this candle that I just drew this line out from all the way down here to the low of this momentum line right here. You can see how we were ranging in here. We've already broken below that. And we had a nice little range in here. So, but we've broken down below this range now. So for the 15 minute, it is losing this right here. I mean, you could have been, a little bit faster throughout here. I mean, really, with the sideways chop and all that good stuff, maybe not, but yeah. Once this is gone, then we'll start to see a rollover a lot more here for Bitcoin, just in the immediate. And we're going to keep our eyes on these three levels right here. And you can see the numbers over here in pain. But like I said, this is going to be important to the 15-minute time frame. It's important to the 15-minute. That might also line up with our standard deviation 1. I just want to see. Okay, so it actually lines up with standard deviation 2. So once you start to push in here off of the Bollinger Band, then you start to, make more of a move down. I'm just going to leave this Bollinger on. So you could short. I think you're a little late in here. You have to deal with all of this chopping here, especially if you don't successfully break down from here. If you don't successfully break down from here, then you'll get caught off guard on the short. But you could still short this. Still possible to short this. I'm not taking any shorts. I should definitely be taking some shorts. That's been my problem. Nobody knows. I seen where like Trump coin was starting to pump again, you know. I mean, it's underwater again now, but did try a little something. You know what I haven't looked at? And let me just fix this up a little bit. Oh, geez, I've never really seen coin glass. Even after refreshing it, leave these gaps behind. But I guess that's how. Okay, it's corrected now. About to say, I guess that's how crappy we were over the weekend. Whatever. When did I click this button? I don't know. Anyway, got some limit orders in here, liquidity right in here. 109, 109, 521 in here. So that would basically be filling in the inefficiency of that big green candle right here. This is the line that I drew out is actually below here because it actually cuts through here like this. So it's actually above here. I'm sorry. It's actually above here. It's above here. This is, yeah. My line is at 1099. So yeah, this is coming in down below. And then you have this down in here, 1075, down into here, 107, 736. So I'll stick with my lines. I'm just pointing it out. You can see the long activity happening right in here. This was cutesy. This is really cutesy. A little squeeze up. Anyway, that's Bitcoin. And let me see liquidation heat map. And we're sitting in between those pockets of liquidity in here. You can see this in here. It's 1093. So this is where I have my line at. Bang, bang. 1093. And then the other one is down here at 109.81. Man, let me tell you, it's nothing to it really. I mean, there's still, little pivot points, but it just seemed like it was it. So got two lines that are based on that. And then the one that I'm looking at in here, it looks like we're just in between. So this one right here doesn't really make much sense. It's just where we would start to expand and see price start to roll over a lot more. So we're dropping below that 15 minute over here now, which is this 15-minute. This is what throws us off balance on the 15. This throws us off balance on the 1. And then these are the levels that I'm looking at for price to come back into with a successful push down. Be somewhere back into one of these two. So, like I said, you could short this, but you want to make sure that it's successful. Otherwise, you get chopped up in here. Right now, starting to give. We'll have to see if it continues to roll over. All right, so a few more 6 on that. All right, give me just a second here. Yeah. All right. So new candle just opened here. Oh my gosh. Hold on, people. All right. That's why I say you can get chopped up. But anyway, we just got a little bit overextended on the RSI in here. Doesn't mean we don't continue to roll over, but we did get a little bit overextended. This is where price action has to hold. Where we push up, and right now we would have to get back above. I mean, we would have to get above this high anyway for any of it to make a difference. So we would have to get above this high. Otherwise, we would just come back through here and reject somewhere around in here. because it has to space the round trip. It has space to actually round trip. I don't have that on over here. That sucks. Let me see what's happening here. Spare div all the way down to here. I might actually entertain a short here myself. It's not going to be anything crazy. Just a little something. Just right here for Biddy. I'm doing it because I don't want to. I just haven't wanted to short anything. So... see, even now I'm very hesitant. I don't know why I'm so hesitant to want to short. I'm not going to short. And I probably should. It's the fact that I don't want to do it. And that's the reason why I probably should do it. And then watch it just go on without me, because I didn't enter. I'm not gonna FOMO now because I should have entered when I said it. Oh man. Anyway, Crow got a nice little rejection off of that. Also, Ethereum, same situation. And just looking at the 15 minutes. And I was just looking over here. Yeah, so everything basically pushing right down into the standard deviation 1 and 2. I mean, which is something that was covered because we did have bear deals coming up. So, like I said, maybe potentially just that one more push down, and then we see a push back up on some of these altcoins. So Ethereum just back in standard deviation 1 and 2. Same thing with XRP. Same thing with Solana. Same thing with SUI. BNB. It's rolling a little bit deeper, harder than the other ones in here on the 15-minute time frame. Anyway, it actually has a open spread here. ADA, same thing. HBAR, same thing. Loki, Link. Hype is the one though. I guess people get excited about this one or something. It's still in between standard deviation 1 and 2 nonetheless though. So unless it breaks up out of here and pushes back into here, then it will continue. It's just kind of how how I always covered this Bollinger Band thing with you is when you're nice and strong, you're somewhere staying in between here to the upside. And then you want to stay in between here to the downside like this. Unless you break out and then you try to make an attempt for this and you fail, you come back in and you stay in between these two. XLM was looking the same. Doji looking the same in here as well. And Tron is a hard one. It's just a hard one. Virtual is the sideways, which is good. So I do still lean towards this chart right here being a good one. It's sideways. Sideways more than anything. Look at OP. Well, look at OP. It's always going to be one. It's always going to be one. So OP and virtual is looking a lot better on the 15-minute time frame. They're looking a lot better on the 15-minute time frame. While Bitcoin might be, like I said, deciding to move on without me. And I do need to open up a short position. I was just scared as crap, to be honest with you. And I don't have a problem with saying I was scared to take a short. I just keep looking to long because I'm too scared to take a short. That's just my feelings right now. And maybe my feelings will mean something after a while. Near, it's kind of sideways for the most part. And this is that under position. This chart right here, this is not good. This liquid, like you can see the liquidity issue in here. It's Coinbase. And then here we are with our Bitcoin. So maybe this is our one more push in, and then we, like I said, and then we get a push out and start to flip some structure in here or something on maybe our 1 and our 4, something like that. This is just now rejecting from off here, which means that it could theoretically come back into here, 43, 43 to 40, 4300 all the way. Ethereum. That lines up really good with that standard deviation 1 right here. So at 43.59. Yeah. 43.59. That lines up really good with that here on Ethereum and Bitcoin. And see, even if I'd have taken the short, I would still be sitting here nervously about it. I don't know. I'll still be sitting here nervously about it, but it looks like we roll over. Looks like we roll over. The last time I was doing, the last time I talked about one of these little triangles, buy sell signals, I was like, ignore those, please ignore those, because if you try to trade off of those, then you might be shocked to find that it doesn't follow through, because it doesn't always. The last time I said that, it actually had pumped. And all I could say was, I still don't like it. And it's worth taking a chance off of them. It is. Um, Not when you know you have a squeeze. When you know you have a squeeze, something like this, and you start to get a breakdown, you wouldn't want to take that because you know you just had a squeeze, and it's just gonna do that anyway because the squeeze is so fresh. You can scout with them, but I don't know. Probably wouldn't. I'm gonna hide it for a second. I'll put it back on because I do want to look at the Bollinger. Just wanted to see. This might have been marking a low. Just a comparison. So you got double confirmation off of this high right here. You got it with the Bollinger, and you got it with that QTD. So you got double confirmation up here. I'm just making sure that I'm correct about that. Yeah. And then it looks like you only got the signal here. Bollinger usually is faster. Nope. Yeah, it was. It was faster. Right in here. But faster doesn't make you right. That could have been. We'll see. We just gotta. It has to hold this level right here. If it's not doing that, then the 1 hour is failing. 15-minute already failed. You have to reclaim back above this, but even this would only mean that price will probably come back into here. It would probably only do something like. Probably only do something. Actually, I could drop it into that. It would probably only do something right in here, and then that's it. So just coming back into standard deviation 1 and 2, maybe put in another bear div or something like that. If it were to try to push up right now. And this looks so lost at this point. Yeah, definitely lost to 15. Just waiting to finish out this hour. And I got 33 minutes left on the 1 hour candle. Thank you. Yes. Yes, I'm eating me some more protein right now. throat is killing me. Let me just say that. It's so killing me right now that it won't. Yeah, it just keeps getting these thick drops on it. I mean, we have to appreciate the pump that it got, but like I said, 70% correction probably gonna come in on this thing. It's gonna suck. I'm gonna get back to a place where I'm taking fewer trades. All my conditions are gonna have to be met, or I'm just not gonna touch it. And it's all gonna be based around this one little strategy, and that's gonna be it. I don't care what other strategies play out. It's gonna be that one. All right, about just slightly more than 15 minutes left. I'm going to go ahead and say my thank you because I am so grateful. First of all, I'm just grateful to get up this morning and be here and present and realize that I'm present. And I'm grateful for everyone who stopped by today to hang out with me, listen to me ramble, whatever I do when I'm here, especially when I'm in a gullible mood or just silly mood or whatever. Thank you for joining me and just looking at some possibilities in here. The market just really hasn't been. I don't know. It just hasn't been the greatest. Like there are little scalp positions in here and things like that to take, and then there are setups that I have discussed. Again, that just. I mean, they've just taken some time to actually even come into play. So, I mean, that's basically all I have. It's just patience. Not a lot of people want to show up for the patience. People want to show up when things are moving. So, to see how this continues to go right here for us. Again, like I said, I would. You can only hit hammer at this so many times before it's no longer worth holding on to. And this right now, that entry was at 108,230 right in here. And we got as low as 107,255 within here. But if price does want to come back in here and hammer at this, then it might be better to just, I don't know, if you're using very low leverage or you're doing this spot, then your losses would be minimized a great deal. This has been weeks in the making. Like, this is taking a long time to see us come into here. And then of course our next level, which is going to be down here at 98, 99, no 99. If things just start to hit the fan, but I say that we could range. I say that we could range, and we're going to get a nice pop out of Bitcoin. It's just a little bit more patience in here. See how well we do. This is it. You know, this is it. And playing around on the lower time frames has not really been. I don't know. I don't know if it's been the move. Put it like that. But you know what I'm gonna do for the rest of the day? And I just ordered my weighted vest. So my weighted vest came. It was the same day delivery yesterday. I ended up going to Walmart actually. I went and had some breakfast at IHOP yesterday, and I got the little protein pancakes and turkey bacon and eggs and just lots of protein. I went by Walmart yesterday and I bought me a plate, a weighted plate to just drop into my book bag. And so I walked around with that weighted plate yesterday. My legs are sore. Sore. It's the same walk. Wasn't too much extra weight on me. This vest about the same. 20 pounds max on it. So just an extra little 20 pounds. I'm thinking about looking absolutely ridiculous. So I'm gonna put on some resistance bands around my legs. I'm gonna walk through the city, just just looking extra. But I'm gonna do it, and hopefully, you know, I don't know what's wrong with the cars wanting to run me over. I mean, I know people are in such a rush these days. Like, oh my gosh, like in such a rush. Like they hate to slow down for a pedestrian. First of all, they're not slowing down at yellow lights. So when it changes and it says you can walk and they can turn, like I'm supposed to be able to walk first. They will run you over. Just trying to get to where they're going. They don't care. And it's sad. I do not want to get on the treadmill at the gym like a hamster. It's boring. I'm not gonna do as much as I would do if I'm outside. If I'm outside, I feel like I have no choice. That's my state of mind. If I'm outside working out, I have no choice but to do it. If I'm inside, I can get lazy. Even if it is the gym, I can just get absolutely lazy. So we'll see how it goes. I'll probably end up doing. I just reopen this membership too. I'm already thinking about doing more zone 2 exercising, which is walking. That sun has been getting me. I've been getting burnt. Like, I'm already a dark skinned woman. That sun is getting me. And I ain't trying to look old either. Alright, so we're pushing down here a little bit. Just still hanging out in here, but pushing in. Let's see that it was what 109 we were looking at earlier today. It's about 109.5. Would you say 109.5 even? It was more so this top right in here. I'm not gonna look at this one though again. I am focused on this one instead. 109.3 and the 108.1. I'm more focused on these, but those limit orders are set up in here. So they're somewhere around in here. It's 109.5 in here. Because we're still rolling. It looks like we had tried to do yeah, we're so far away from this blue. And we can get the little fast signals, but we're really far away from the blue. That's going to be coming back up the mean in here. So coming back up 50% here on your RSI. And that's just what I was referring to over here. I'm at 109.7 in here. I'm at 109.5 in here. Which I said is like this. About this pivot in here. No. Did I pull out too far? I did. About this pivot in here. Sorry. About this pivot in here. And then the one I'm looking at is right in here. So we have this large order at. Spot in here. That's what I'm looking at. I already know. Basically going to be like I said, I'm going to regret not at least opening up a little short. I knew it, and I said I should do it because I don't want to do it, and I just didn't have the guts to do it. I just didn't. So, yeah. Short has certainly been good for me. It looks like right in here too, you probably start to lose the 200 EMA on the 15 minute. And I'm just gonna check and see what it's sitting at. Yep, you would. So right in here, you would start to lose the 200 EMA if you didn't manage to hold in here. So let's see what we do these last few minutes that we have. We can get rid of this now because that was for the 15. This is for the 1, and once we deviate below this enough, then I'll probably drop this and see how we actually started putting that momentum line right in here alongside this line in here that we were watching. Instant regret. Not really. If you don't feel good about doing something, just don't do it. And that's just how I felt. So I didn't do it. Not because I didn't think it was gonna work. I just don't want to. All right, we are definitely in the bearish control zone. And here, price action. Ethereum rolling a little bit harder than Biddy right now. That's a little bit harder. So do be looking out for your bullish divergence. And I'm gonna take a long, not yet, but once we get into these levels in here, I'll start to see what we're looking like with price action. Start to see if we're putting in those bull divs or something like that. We bounce around a little bit, create a new pivot or something like that, because otherwise we would have to, I know I would probably like to see this down here. But for now, instant regret. I may draw a fib on this too. Not that I think it'll make a bit of difference, but that would actually be kind of what I would like. And then of course the 786 is sitting down here at this one right here. So I mean, if we did this right here and we dropped into the golden pocket per se, which means we wouldn't really be looking for a bounce in here, but we probably would get one. But if we did this in here, took out this little low, the little lows in here, and bounced off the golden pocket, and we had some bull dips in here, something like that, then that would be a long for me. That would be a long for me. Otherwise, I think I stick to looking down here. All right, so that was here that it looks like we just hit the one that I said I'm not interested in, which is this one. Let me see if we did. No, we didn't. We didn't quite tap that. I didn't quite tap it. But there were two limit long order or liquidity spots in here, low liquidity. Meanwhile, Ethereum, like I said, is it's getting a little stronger drop in here than Bitcoin. Let's see, this starts to lose its 200. Oh, it's already lost it. Like it been lost it. It lost it right here. I could have sworn I hit this line. Did I not hide this line? I hit this line. And the fact that it keeps showing up, I don't know. I'll just leave it here for now, I guess, because the 200 EMA is sitting right here. Back above this 4384 right here for Ethereum. I do like this. If it can sustain it, and it's like no sustaining, no sustaining. But we're starting to show an inconsistency in here. 4326, 4288. I might play with Ethereum today. Let me just look back at Solana. $198.72 to $195. Is that what we got here? I'm just going to leave those 15 minutes as such. Fast cross over here on Biddy, but it doesn't really mean anything just yet. But you do have a fast cross over here, so more of these will start to put in. We may be starting to put in some sort of, I don't know. We've lost this one right here, though. We did lose this one on the 1 hour. And let me check back on. Okay, so we did tap. Let me just show you. So we did tap in and take right in here, those two right in here. And then the next one is down here. All right. So it's 8 o'clock. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. And it's going to be a wrap for today. So these right here, this one, again, you know, this one and this one, this is in sync with this one right here. So if you look at the liquidation heat map, this is in sync with this over here. So this yellow liquidity zones in here. And then the other one, which is sitting down here, around this 10. Mine's is at 108, 186. And that's where you have that 786 at. If you just draw a fib, like you just saw me do, that's these two zones in here right now for Bitcoin. That's what we're looking at. Those two lines that I drew off of those pivots, that's going to be right here. So just keep your eyes on that. And again, that's this line right here. And this one right here. Where we have a 786. And you can see them right here, 109, 326, and 108, 186. Right in here. So it looks like if we make our way down here into this one, it doesn't guarantee anything. But if we make our way down here into this one, we'd be oversold in here. Actually, let me just hang in here for this. If it's going to happen, it'll happen now. If not, then I'm going to call it a wrap. And let's just see how we do once we get into that liquidity. So this was the 1 hour. We've lost this. I'm going to drop that. That was the momentum shift on the 1. It was the momentum shift on the 1. And now this is just what we start to look at potential bounces. Because you want to get 4 hour. Let me see where that is in the 4 hour. The one for the 4 hour is going to be down in here. I mean, really, if we did like the golden pocket and we managed in here, that would be something different, but it's in here. So you'll want to hold in here and range in here. You want to range. If price comes into this one, you want to range to build some momentum for that push back up. I should have taken that short, but you know, like I said, I was scared to take the short, not because I didn't think it was going to work. I just don't want to take shorts in general. I've just had a fear of taking shorts lately. Just a milli shy of being oversold and hitting this line right now. Just a milli shy. I ain't even on the right line anyway. But let's see. It wouldn't have made a difference. I think this one is slightly higher. It wouldn't have made a difference. So if this is the one, I wouldn't be looking for a V-shaped recovery. I'd be looking for us to range and then get a push up. If that's not the one, again, be looking down here. You see it where your 786 is. I'd be looking for us to get down in here and range and then get a push up. It'd be one of the two. And that's what I'm gonna be waiting on. Even if it did front run this one and it did this golden pocket and it chose to hold on to yeah, we're not gonna keep tapping this. We're just not. But yeah, even if it does this and it ranges, then I'm looking to get in on it. So we'll see which one it wants to do. With that said, okay, so this time I'm actually okay. We got 3 minutes left. 3 minutes left. And hopefully the data doesn't affect the mood today. Like really, this ISM at 10. Hopefully it doesn't, have any sort of an impact. I really hope not. I really hope not. And then jolts tomorrow. Fun times. Fun times. I was just trying to see where that lined up at. Yeah. So I did drop that in there. It would have to come back above that anyway. So that does actually work. That's above standard deviation. 1 there also. So, but chop. This would start to flatten out. And that's what we'd be looking for. Anyway, not much is going to change between now and these last little 50-something seconds on the clock here. That again, I'm just telling you what I'm going to be doing. If we start the range in here, then I will potentially be looking to take a little scalp position in here. If we drop down lower, I like that even better. Back down here around the scope 786. If we start to drop into here and we start to chop in here, then I'm a little bit more excited about taking a long position. So that's what I'm going to be looking for here on Bitcoin. I will share that update with you later, and I hope you enjoy the rest of it.